what they have stated is that in Pune division, there will be 37.5% rise in annual rainfall in next few decades. In fact, as the surface runoffs are higher, it leads to flash floods. Urban planning has completely failed to take into account all these factors. So if the traffic is more, you think of widening the road. But if the rains are increasing, if there is more water, can you think of widening the river? Why not? But forget about widening the river. We are narrowing the rivers. That is a disastrous project. On the side of citizens, it is apathy because the rivers are flowing so dirty. They have turned their backs to the river. Bureaucrats and politicians, they are just not interested in any sustainable solution. So, and development, what does development mean? More concretization? As I have seen, there is huge political interference at the planning stage itself. Most of the decisions are taken in the interest of the builders and politicians. There is dearth of honesty as well as vision. It's not water that enters into your houses.
You built the house there. Hurricanes in the US, increased intense rainfall in India. No cities are being spared by the fury of nature. We have intense rainfalls that flood the cities, yet we don't pay cognizance of how to manage it. Year after year, we know that there is going to be intensity, there climate change, of the way we build our cities, the way we build our sewage. We are not planning for the future, and we have flooding. We complain about the flooding, but we don't pay any attention to what else needs to happen. And it is different in different cities. How flooding looks in Bangalore and needs to be managed is different from how urban flooding needs to be managed in Chennai or in the alluvial plains of the Indo-Gangetic plains, or, for example, in Pune, which is a river city. Hello and welcome to OoruLabs. I'm your host, Sathya Sankaran. Today we speak with architect Sarang Yadwadkar. He has spent a lot of time in Pune looking at urban flooding. He understands the topology, he understands the basins, he understands the urban planning nightmares that we all go through. And he spent some time talking to me about urban flooding with the use case of Pune. Maybe we learn something from his experiences. Sarangji, thanks for joining the podcast. I have a lot to talk to you about. We were talking on the phone, and I was trying to understand the challenges in Pune vis-a-vis other cities with respect to urban flooding, urban planning, and all of these things that are happening. Large cities these days are especially prone to flooding. It's not just here. I'm hearing in many places across the world this thing is a big nightmare it is becoming. Of course, one of it is because of climate change and other things. But give me probably for the viewers also, a feeling of what is the thing in Pune that causes flooding there? Because you have worked a lot in Pune a lot, right?
See, basically, when we discuss about Pune floods, we are actually it's a generic term or a generic concept. We are discussing about urban floods.
Correct.
With little here or there, the situation is same almost in all cities. More so in India because of demographic stresses, demographic pressures. In Pune, it is so to say more prone to floods. The city is more prone to floods than many other cities across the world. See, it's a very historical city, Pune. There are 5 rivers that enter into the city: Mula, Mutha, Ram Nadi, Dev Nadi, and Pauna. These 5 rivers, they are having independent catchments. They enter into the city, they merge with each other, and they flow out as one single river. That is Mula Mutha River. The simple meaning is that storm water, rainwater, enters into the city from 5 different catchments, whereas it has only one outlet. The positive side of this situation is that there is no dearth of water in the city. We have ample water available, and that is the real reason of the greenery in Pune and the growth of the city, because there is no dearth of water. But the other side of the coin is probability of floods. Now, these 5 rivers, as I told you, have 8 dams On the immediate upstream side, Khadakwasla, Panchet, Varasgaon, Temgar, Kasarsai, Mulshi, Pauna, and one more dam.
Hmm.
So there are 8 dams on these rivers, and these dams are not really far away from the city, within a distance of some 30-40 kilometers, not more than that. And they are very close with each other also, very close to each other. Because of that, these dams, what is happening when these dams release water, when they get filled up to the brim and they release water, the water from all these dams enter into the city. Then the flood situation aggravates further. One more aspect to this is that the topography of the city is like a saucer. So here in Pune also, I mean, there are two types of flood that take place in Pune. That is, one is fluvial flood, that is flooding because of the rivers,
Hmm.
and pluvial flooding, that is localized flooding because the water doesn't get drained to the river. The rivers are not flooded, but many localities in the city get flooded because the city is saucer shaped. There are hills all around the city. And when it rains heavily in Pune city, the water flows towards the center of the city. And as usual, the same picture everywhere, completely unmaintained stormwater drainage system, inefficient and not correctly designed stormwater system, which fails in most of the times, and that leads to pluvial flooding at many locations. So this is a combination of pluvial flooding as well as fluvial flooding in Pune city.
Hmm. Hmm.
Over and above this, there is a report prepared by the Energy and Resources Institute of India from Delhi. They have prepared a report for the state of Maharashtra
Hmm.
for climate change. And in that report, they have divided the entire state into 6 different divisions. And what they have stated is that in Pune division, there will be 37.5% rise in annual rainfall in next few decades. In fact, it is happening much faster than what they have expected. In addition to that, they have clearly stated in their report that around Pune, the rainy days are going to reduce. I mean, more rains on one hand, and that rain will be in lesser days.
Concentrated. Hmm.
Simple meaning is that intense rains,
Intensity.
that is cloud bursts in what we call as. And cloud bursts, what happens when cloud bursts take place? The rainfall is so intense that the rainwater doesn't get time to percolate into the ground.
Hmm.
So the surface runoffs are higher. As the surface runoffs are higher, it leads to flash floods. And we are experiencing flash floods in last few years. Forget about the main rivers, but even the streams that are not even identified as rivers, streams, nalas, they get flooded and cause destruction to such an extent that in 2019, there is one stream that it is called as Odha in Marathi.
Hmm.
For stream, the word is Odha in Marathi. So there is one stream by the name of Ambil Odha. The length is hardly 11 kilometers. There was a cloudburst in its catchment area on the upstream, and it got flooded, and 25 people lost their lives. 25 in a city like Pune. Hundreds of cars were completely scrapped out because the water entered into the basements of many buildings. The basements were flooded completely. Cars were submerged for a few days. And so that is the situation. See, this is the situation. And in addition to that, urban planning has completely failed to take into account all these factors. On one hand, when the traffic increases in any city or on any road, urban planners think of widening the roads,
Yeah.
right? And it is happening everywhere in any city. Whether it is right or wrong is a debatable issue. So, if the traffic is more, you think of widening the road.
Hmm.
But if the rains are increasing, if there is more water, can you think of widening the river? Why not? But forget about widening the river. We are narrowing the rivers
Mm-hmm.
for many reasons. We are narrowing the rivers to increase the land masses on the banks. We are narrowing the rivers to put in more and more infrastructural components for which we have not left space in the development plans, like uh, sewer pipes, or even STPs are now being built inside river in Pune, inside
Mm-hmm.
river, sewage treatment plants, because they don't have space anywhere to build. There are basements being constructed or old buildings being demolished. So all those debris are thrown into the river, and the river width is being decreased drastically, drastically.
By how
And
much?
this is by 20%, 30%, 40%.
Wow.
So, see, ultimately, flood carrying capacity or water carrying capacity of any river is in proportion with its cross sectional area. That
Correct.
is called as flow area.
Mm.
In simple terms, it is the width of the river. If the width is reduced in the same proportion, its carrying capacity is reduced. But that going to reduce the floods? Is that going to reduce the water that will be coming into the river? No way, no way, because dams have their own spillway design capacity which cannot be reduced, and if the dam gets completely filled up to the brim, the water resources department is going to release water from the dam. Otherwise,
Mm.
the dam will burst.
Mm.
So in that case, see, the water that would be flowing into the river is not reducing, but we are reducing the cross sectional area of the river. In addition to that, in Pune, our local urban body, that is Pune Municipal
Mm.
Corporation, is building roads on riverbeds. 100 feet wide road is being built right on the riverbed by way of dumping thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of truckloads of debris inside a floodline.
Mm.
And over and above that, we are also going ahead with another project by the name of Riverfront Development. You might have heard
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah.
So that is it. That is a disastrous project. Disastrous project.
That's the thing I want to come to. Now you gave us information there is going to be 37.5% rise. The intensity is going to increase.
Yeah.
The runoff is also increasing. Intensity is increasing. Runoff is also increasing because there's more concreting, there's more built up area and doing more work. And you're also narrowing the river. You gave a very good analogy. The roads, when they fill up, we widen them. Why do we treat this water differently? Knowing fully well all of this data and statistics, what explains this apathy? Is there a capacity problem in PMC? Is there a thinking problem? Is it, I don't even know how to ask this question. Is it just apathy? Is it just that they don't want to do this?
No,
There is no
it's
money
it's
in this
it's
thing? What is it?
it's more than that. There is no dearth of money.
Hmm.
There is no dearth of money. See, on the side of citizens, it is apathy because the rivers are flowing so dirty, so dirty. They have turned their backs to the river. The rivers are really stinking.
Hmm.
30% of the sewage generated in Pune city is being treated. Remaining 70% of the sewage
Hmm.
goes into the river without any treatment. Without any treatment, you won't believe it.
My God.
Yeah, thousands of tankers of raw sewage enters into the river. It is apathy on the side of the citizens. It is dishonesty and selfishness on the part of bureaucrats. It's corruption on the part of bureaucrats as well as politicians. These people are just not interested. Bureaucrats and politicians, they are just not interested in any sustainable solution. May it be
Hmm.
traffic, may it be environment, or any environmental component. They are just not interested, and it's happening everywhere.
But they're doing the river rejuvenation, the trying to make it look nicer. Is that going to solve the problem?
They're trying to make it, uh, so to say, looks wise nicer from
Hmm.
the common man's, or from a very conventional point of view.
Visually nice, functionally bad.
Even that is not very visually. Also, for me, very, it's a coffin.
Hmm.
See, concrete has a concrete embankments on both sides of the river. The river is flowing very obediently, uh, like a canal in a straight line. How
Hmm.
can we call it a river?
Hmm.
How can we call it a river? And see, what I give a very different analogy for this.
Hmm.
Pune's rivers are in very bad condition. Very bad condition from multiple aspects, from their flood carrying capacity, from the point of view of biodiversity, or from the point of view of quality of water. It's only sewage that flows into the through the river. So the rivers are in very bad condition. Now, see, every river is a mother of the cities around it, of
Hmm.
all civilizations around it. Or we can say every city's mother is a river flowing through that city, right? Now, if your mother is not well, if she's serious for a long time, are you going to take her to a doctor or to a beauty parlor? Our bureaucrats and politicians are interested in taking the river to a beauty parlor, which is going to cost much higher than a hospital charges.
Hmm. To everybody.
Yeah, to everybody. Forget about the cost. Ultimately, it is going to take the river to it's going to worsen the condition of the river. We don't mind even if they spend thousands of crores for treating sewage. We have no objection on that. But we have objection on dumping debris into the river, reclaiming the floodplains by
Hmm.
way of embankments, and putting artificial, not, artificial, but manicured lawns and flowery trees on those embankments and calling it a beautiful river. No way. It's a coffin. It's a dead river because you are not looking after the sewage treatment plant. There, I have heard of Suez Canal. In Pune, we have a sewage canal.
It's just spelling difference.
Yeah.
Where does this go from here? Who will hold them accountable? Ultimately, the people of Pune are being affected when the waterlogging happens. It is perfectly manageable, but it is not being managed. Pune has an active citizenry. There are people like you. I've met a lot of active citizenry in Pune as well, trying to do their best. It's the same in all cities. There is a vested interest in the bureaucrats not solving this problem. How do we get across? What makes them sit up and listen? This seems to be, if I put more roads, people will be more happier. If they build more buildings and allow the builders to do what they want to do, they are more happier. Buy more cars, build more buildings. That's all it seems to be. But all of this is the bedrock. It is the thing that lies underneath. 80% of the stuff is underneath: the sewage, the drains, the water, the basic necessities of human life. Why is there no? It's not just Pune, but it's a good example to start with because you're there. In all cities, there is a severe apathy among. I mean, even if the people say, I don't want waterlogging, they don't say, I want a beautiful river, the free flowing river. They don't conceptualize that. For them, it is just, if I walk along that in the morning, that's my connection with the river. I don't want waterlogging. What they don't want, they will tell you. But the pathway to lead to this involves all the things you're mentioning. How do you get to that point?
I don't know really. But
Mm.
one thing is sure, the society needs to change for that. Unless this change doesn't happen in the society, in the voters, you are not going to elect or select good leaders. What we need is visionary leaders.
Mm.
It's not that there are not visionary leaders. There are, but
Mm.
hardly any. And what we have that nasha of development these days. Development. So, and development. What does development mean? More concretization. Three tier flyovers. There is existing road below. and three tiers fly over. One for going up, the other one for coming down, and third one for metro. So what are you going to do? This problem is more severe in India because our cities have huge population and the cities have huge spread, and we in our case infrastructure follows development.
Hmm.
And when the development has already taken place, then you provide infrastructure. The people already have come there to stay. They don't have roads. But then you provide roads, one road above the other road, and then more people come over to stay there. And the cities are growing without any restriction. The cities are rather not growing, I would say. The cities are becoming obese. Every location for that matter, has its own limitation of carrying capacity. Like rivers have water carrying capacity. Locations have demographic carrying capacity. In urban planning, we have completely kept aside that concept, that how much should be the population of that particular city. It all depends upon the availability of resources. Then people come over there, they crowd over there. Then in our development model, we don't spend much on rural area.
Hmm.
If you go to rural area, no electricity for 24 hours, no water supply, very poor roads, no health facilities, no education facilities, no opportunities of good jobs. So what people can do? They migrate to the cities for their own survival. They don't have any choice. You can't blame them.
Yeah.
So they
Livelihoods.
just migrate to the cities. Cities get congested. Then there are slums, multi-storied slums now. Then people start living on hills and all that.
Hmm.
On the floodplains, they have their huts and all that. Why should we blame them?
Do you think PMC has the ability or capacity to imagine the future? You know that there's going to be an increase in the intensity of rainfall. You know that also means that the way you are concreting is going to be. Have the municipal corporations across the country become just road building organizations? Are they forgetting there are other pieces to this infrastructure: water, sewage, treating it, reusing it, making sure that there is a kind of sustainability within the city that will help everyone be actually better? Has livability taken a back seat and development has only become about beauty roads, and that's about it, and buildings? Capacity, is there a problem in capacity of thinking and actually planning? You said planning, but I don't think the municipal corporations everywhere plan. There is a master plan, but there might not be an understanding of how to translate, and probably engagement with citizens and people like yourself who can provide that information and help them.
See, basically, as far as this plan is concerned, whether a development plan of any particular corporation or municipality or a
Region.
regional development plan, as I have seen, there is huge political interference in the
Hmm.
at the planning stage itself in many of the decisions. The decisions or reservations or zones are not decided in the interest of the society or in the interest of better development of the city or in the interest of environment. Most of the decisions are taken in the interest of the builders and politicians. Many of the politicians are builders, or many of the builders are politicians, the other way around.
Hmm.
So see, the question is, there is dearth of honesty
Hmm.
as well as vision. Unless we have both the factors, honesty as well as vision, the things are not going to change. We don't need highly intelligent officers or leaders. What we need, that honest leaders, visionary leaders, and honest officers. Unfortunately, I don't see much. See, what I feel, our country, with a population of more than 140 crores,
Hmm.
is like a sleeping elephant.
Yeah.
This elephant has to rise and start walking.
Hmm.
It's very difficult to wake up an elephant. But when the elephant will wake up, rise, and start walking, it will be difficult to stop. I don't know when that day will come. May not be in our life, but it will come. I think we still have to hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Once we are heading very fast towards the bottom. I mean, not only in Pune city, but everywhere, whether it is Bangalore.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, even if you think of floods, cities like Delhi, Nagpur, Ahmedabad, there are so many cities in Maharashtra or Bangalore, Chennai. We get floods so frequently. All
Hmm.
these developed cities, developed metros. So, and we are not changing our policies. These people do not realize that something is really going wrong.
Hmm.
They are not ready to accept it, our ministers or bureaucrats. So we are heading very fast towards the rock bottom. It's good. It's a pendulum,
Hmm.
When it goes up, it starts coming down, down, down. It hits its bottom level and then again it starts going up. So it's like a pendulum situation for every country, for every civilization. We are going towards the bottom as of now.
The thing is, do we know when we have hit the bottom and know that the only way will be up? Is there enough knowledge and capacity to even understand and prevent? Like you said, maybe we won't. We probably will need to face the music before we know that it's already there. It's all of the flooding you're talking about in all the cities that we are facing is the music we are facing for all the wrongs we are doing. Where do you think the citizen awareness? I mean, they are aware that there is flooding, but beyond that, what do you think the citizen need to think about when they think about all these things? And it's different in different places. In our places, it's lake. In Pune, it is rivers. It could be many different things for different cities. How should we imagine citizen action in this?
I'll address this from a little different angle.
Okay.
See, the successful politicians in our country
Hmm.
are excellent orators. I don't want to give hint to anyone,
Sure, we get it.
but most of the politicians are excellent orators. See, what we need to consider, we have to value not the oratorship, but the contents, the thoughts. Unfortunately, most of the citizens, or masses rather, we should say, they fall prey to the oratory skills,
Hmm.
not the thoughts behind it. Okay, so unless we start giving importance to thoughts, we are not going to change.
I don't think we want to hear other voices, reasonable voices like yours and many others who have come on my podcast is too. And that's one of the reasons I do this is hear more, understand more, listen more, and don't listen to only your echo chamber of what you like. It's just like the visual appeal of I'll put a nice looking concrete drain across the river and give you a walking path. It looks nice, but functionally it is bereft of value. So is like that what your analogy means is the floweriness of the tone is not what it is. It is the substance of what gets executed on the ground and
Yeah,
how they think. Huh?
yeah,
That
and another thing I should mention here, as far
hmm.
as rivers are concerned, in the context of rivers, many of our bureaucrats and politicians visit Europe.
Yeah.
Most of the European rivers are embanked, in cities at least. So they feel that why not our rivers? We want to convert every city into New York and London and Paris and whatnot. So why not to embank our rivers? But we completely fail
Hmm.
that our rivers are seasonal rivers.
Hmm.
European rivers are
Perennial.
perennial rivers. There is hardly any difference in the peak flow and lean flow in European rivers. But keep aside last few years. In last few years, European rivers are also getting very angry, even in Germany also.
Yeah.
And our rivers carry peak flow during rainy season,
Hmm.
rather second half of our rainy season. And otherwise, and more so because of the dams, there is hardly any flow in the rivers. So what people think, अरे ये नदी में तो 4 दिन ही बाढ़ आती है, so forget about it. Let us remaining 361 days there is no water. So why not to build houses into the river? Why not to create land into the river? Even architects are thinking like that. And even this people do not understand that even the rivers are flooded even for one day in the year. You have to use space for that water.
Yeah.
You have to. Otherwise, water is going to enter into your houses and you are going to call it flooding.
Correct.
In fact, that's what is happening. It's not water that enters into your houses.
You built the house there.
You build houses in the
Channel.
They're right.
We don't understand nature.
Yeah, we don't. We fail to understand nature. We fail to understand law of nature. What we feel that we, the humans, are the most important,
hubris,
most intelligent species in the world, and we can rule everything.
And we can control the nature.
We can control. I'll tell you what I personally feel after maybe it should not happen. It's just a very wild thought, but maybe after a few thousand years or maybe Earth will be without humans if we continue like this. Ours is the most fragile species. Earth will be more without humans and it will be a happier planet.
Yeah. We are only trying to save ourselves. We are not even trying to save the planet. It is fine. The planet will take care of itself. It's actually happier without you.
Yeah.
We are the most interdependent species. We don't realize how dependent we are in that plant doing its photosynthesis, in the water going around and drown, in the carrying of the silt, we think that these are just things we can control and rebuild. And I think that hubris is what is going to take us down the path. What are your parting words on this?
We have received, at least my generation, you are also of the same generation. We should hand over this planet in a condition in which we have received it from our forefathers. It is our responsibility. We should not damage it and hand it over to the next generation in a bad condition. If we love our children, that's all.
Amazing. On those parting notes, thanks, Sarangji, for sparing your time and talking to us about this.
Thank you very much.